If you've ever prepared for a maths Olympiad, you will know that getting the right answer in itself isn't enough. You also need to show you're working clearly to pick up all of the 10 marks. And that's where a lot of students struggle. They can see the answer, but they don't know how to write a proper proof. In this video, I'm going to walk through a complete Olympiad solution step by step, showing you exactly what the examiners want to see on the page, as well as how to think about getting the answer. It also uses a technique that comes up again and again in these competitions, so this is a really useful one to have in your toolkit. So here's the question. A number n is a 2-digit positive integer. It can be written as AB bar to show its digits a and b. How can n be written in terms of a and b in standard algebra is the first part of the question, and then the main part of the question, find all possible n with digits a and b where n equals ab bar and n equals a plus b squared. So the first part of this question is, how can ab bar be written in terms of a and b? For example, if you have 23, that's 2 lots of 10 plus 3, or if you've got 57, that's 5 lots of 10 plus 7. So in general, if we've got a, b, with the tens digit a and the units digit b, that would be 10 lots of a plus b, so the answer to the first part is just n equals 10a plus b. Now that's probably only worth one of the 10 marks in this question, but from this point onwards, what I'm going to be putting on screen is roughly what would be required for that full 10 mark answer for the rest of the question, but as long as you've written 10a plus b at the beginning, you'll get that first mark. Remember that Olympiad questions are really so much about showing you're working as much as getting that answer right, so do practice that thoroughly if you are taking an Olympiad anytime soon. And I'll add more to the explanation as we go through on top of just that answer that's written down. So now we go on to find all possible n with digits a and b, where n equals ab bar and n also equals a plus b squared. So ab bar is 10a plus b, and we know that's also equal to a plus b squared. So we're going to start with this equation, 10a plus b equals a plus b squared. Then 9a equals b squared minus b. I've just subtracted a from each side and subtracted b from each side as well. Then we could factorise the right-hand side as 9a equals b times b minus 1. And again, this sort of thing is very common in Olympiad-style questions, where we're just getting the a's on one side and the b's on the other side, and we're now going to think about the factors that there are. Now this kind of technique, separating variables and thinking about factors, comes up a lot in Olympiad questions. And if you do want to get really good at spotting these sorts of patterns, I've also got courses over at mathsaurus.com for this sort of competition preparation, as well as for loads of other maths challenges and Olympiads for ages 7 to 18, so don't forget to check that out later. But let's carry on with the question here. So in particular, the left-hand side, 9a, is a multiple of 9 because it's 9 times a whole number. And the right-hand side must also be a multiple of 9 then, because it's equal to the left-hand side. Now, we've got on the right-hand side b times b minus 1, and b and b minus 1 are consecutive integers. But consecutive integers can't have any common factors except for 1. And in particular, what we're interested in here is that they can't both be multiples of 3, because that means that that factor of 9, which is 3 times 3, that we've got somewhere on the right-hand side, must be wholly a part of either the b or the b minus 1. It can't be 3 in the b and 3 in the b minus 1. So we have either b or b minus 1 is a multiple of 9. So we've got to consider those two cases. In the first case, b minus 1 is a multiple of 9. That means that b must equal 1 because b must also be a digit, i.e. something from 0 to 9. And the next time b minus 1 would be a multiple of 9 would be b equals 10, and that's not a digit. So in this case, we've got b is equal to 1, and b minus 1 is 0, and then that would give us a equals 0 as well, so the number would be 0, 1, and that wouldn't be considered a 2-digit integer. So we would just rule that case out here. Now you probably wouldn't lose marks, or at most 1, but hopefully 0 if you did also just mention that as a possibility and didn't actually rule it out. But if you've noticed that, you should also say something like, which is not a proper 2-digit number. But it does technically satisfy the conditions of the question otherwise, but it's just not a 2-digit number, so we exclude it. In the case where b is a multiple of 9, then since b is a single digit, b would have to be either 0 or 9. But if b equals 0, then 9a equals 0 times negative 1, which is 0, so a would also be 0. But then we'd have the number 0, 0, which again isn't a proper 2-digit number, so we have b equals 0 not working, and we must have that b equals 9. So then in the equation we've got 9 times a equals 9 times 8, and so a must be equal to 8, and then there really are no other options. So the only answer we've got is that n equals 89, and that's just the one answer to this question. So we've just seen how thinking carefully about factors can really crack these Olympiad questions. To get all 10 marks, you just have to write that answer out clearly as well. And if you want to try another one, then this next question has a really nice geometric solution to it. So check that out now.